The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I Rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepared a table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head with no oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of my life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah carry my way. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, and here we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again, here we are not neutral, and we have never claimed to be. We have actually taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth, to the best of our ability. In the service of God and country, we stand by the truth, with the truth, speak the truth, sleep the truth, walk the truth, eat the truth, drink the truth. This is the headquarters of the truth. And I am most excited to be with you. By way of introduction, my name, Blakk RASTA. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food for the nourishment of the family. That is what we do exactly here, literally. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, all and sundry, the rank and file of our people, subject that to some serious forensic scrutiny. At the end of the day, we pick up the creme de la creme of all these ideas and use that for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Yes, truth to power. Now, my brother, my sister, we are live on Facebook. We are super live on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram. We are also on X, formerly called Twitter. We are also on TikTok, ticking and talking with the hands of patriotism. I salute you with a salute of patriotism. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and we love you. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do. We are called Black Empire Media. And after subscribing, hit on the notification button so that anytime we are on, you would be notified to watch us. This is where the truth lives. This is the domicile of the truth. This is the house of the truth. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just happy to do that. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. Finally, please do me a favor. Share the broadcast. Like the broadcast. Comment, because we'll be reading your messages. This is where the truth lives. And I'm again most excited to be with you. Today we have 3 very important stories to look at. Some of them will draw tears from your eyes. Others will hit you very hard. It is all in the service of God and country. Story number 1. Watch this. Disgraceful Naa Torshie not fit for office. Naa Torshie is a woman that I have never encountered, but I have admired her from afar. She is the MP for Tema West. This is Naa Torshie. Very pretty, very nice. She was born on the 30th of September, the same month I was born in. But she was born in 1970, so she's 4 years older than me. This is Naa Torshie Ado. Irene Naa Torshie Ado. At a point, she served as the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. She is a sitting MP. She actually is a darling girl of the former President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. She has tried as much as possible to stay away from some of the big controversies around her party and around politics. Irene Naa Torshie Ado. She's a Ghana woman. She was born in Osu, an indigenous Ghana woman. And from her name, you can tell that this is a woman who loves tradition. And I love people who love tradition. Irene Naa Torshie Ado. She's 55 years young. She has 3 children. She is a divorcee. She has 2 females and 1 son. That is the background of the woman we are talking about. In fact, she went to school both in Ghana and also in the UK. She went to the University of Warwick. She's a lawyer by profession, and she's also a businesswoman. In our society, it's not very easy for women to rise to the position she finds herself. It's one of the reasons I have always admired this woman, even though we have never met and never encountered. This is Irene Naa Torshie Ado. Now, there was a time she was supposed to partner Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as his vice president. And better still, the running mate. And if he had won the elections, she probably would have been the vice president of the Republic of Ghana by now. All of a sudden, she has decided to kick out Bawumia, and she is partnering with the winning team, Ken Agyapong. A lot of people see Bawumia as a liar, a man who never speaks the truth, a failure, political failure. In fact, I call him the Mr. Bean of Ghanaian politics. Everywhere he goes, it's all about comedy. Either he's dancing offbeat or he's telling lies. One of those. I believe that when this man is even asleep and you wake him up from the middle part of his sleep, the sweetest part, he will be telling you lies. He goes to bed telling lies, wakes up telling lies. I'm sure that the Muslim that he is, even before he says Fajr prayers, he has to lie. My brother, my sister, this is Bawumia. The lying tag has stuck on him. Not many Ghanaians believe him anymore. And I believe that this is the end of the road for him politically. He's a man I don't like one bit because of the lies and the disappointment he brought the people of Ghana. At a point, he was the chairman of the economic team, whatever they call it. And he disappointed Ghana. During his reign as the chairman of the economic team, he gave Ken Ofori-Atta the leeway, the long rope to hang all of us Ghanaians. And today Ken Ofori-Atta is a fugitive running away, and he wants to be applauded. What a shame. Now this same guy here watched our economy dwindle into oblivion, and all he could tell us was that, you know what, I was only a mate. Such a joker, an irresponsible guy like that. And it's all in the interest of Ghana, my brother, my sister. And this guy still has supporters. So when Kennedy Agyapong came up, yes, he doesn't have the education of this guy. He might be the least educated amongst all those running, but he has the grassroots following him. And that probably was why Irene Naa Torshie Ado decided to abandon Bawumia in the middle of the journey, having failed once or twice, and now joining hands with Kennedy Agyapong, a former MP. My brother, my sister. Now let me tell you something. Now Irene went on the campaign trail to try and get people in the central region to accept Kennedy Agyapong. And today when I read the news, I got so angry and so vexed. I didn't know that this woman's head is full of tribalism, bigotism, and low IQs. This is Irene Naa Torshie. She's a disgrace to the politics of this nation. And when Black RASTA speaks, he doesn't mince words. It has never been personal. And what did she say when she went to the central region? As reported, she said, watch this, Gen Z girls will vote for flat tummy Ken Agyapong over Asiedu Nketia. And this is Naa Torshie, a lawyer, a sitting MP, a former deputy minister of foreign affairs, a mother of 2 girls and 1 boy. This is her level of thinking. The election is all about flat tummy, and when you read the story further, it is heartbreaking. Former administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, DACF, Irene Naa Torshie, has hit the ground running, campaigning for the new Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful, Kennedy Agyapong. Now, speaking in a viral video clip from one of the campaign events in the central region, Naa Torshie said that Ghanaians have said they would vote for the NPP should Kennedy Agyapong be made the flag bearer of the party. She urged the party delegates in the central region to vote for the former Asin Central Legislature later, indicating that he was one of their own. Listen, one of their own. Now people are saying that if you bring Ken, we would vote for you. So, what do we have to do for the central region? If you vote for someone else, people would laugh at you. Did you hear that? I am from the Greater Accra region, and my people and I have decided that we are going to vote for Kennedy Agyapong. What about you? Dash it away. So you see this kind of thinking. I am from the Greater Accra region. You are not my people. My people are those from the Greater Accra region. And they are saying that they will vote for Kennedy Agyapong. How about you? Kennedy is one of your very own. If you don't vote for him, people will laugh at you. Tribal politics. Tribal politics. My brother, my sister, if Ghana must develop, we must do away with all forms of tribalism and tribal politics, ethnocentrism. A lot of the problems we have in our country is all because of tribalism and ethnocentrism. In the north, people are picking up arms, shooting and killing each other, all because of ethnocentrism. Marriages fall apart. Some never even happen because one party is from this ethnic group, the other one is from this ethnic group, and some people think that they cannot gel. And the reason is that they belong to 2 different ethnic groups. Are we humans or animals? To make it worse, in our Ghanaian politics, when people are voting, the president must come from somewhere. His vice must come from somewhere. Both of them cannot come from the same place. Tribalism. Most of the time, the one who is the running mate must come from the north. And the one who is the flag bearer or the presidential hopeful must come from the south. My brother, my sister, and this has brought us a lot of problems. What is wrong with us as a people? Ethnocentrism all over the place. People deny you what belongs to you because you belong to a certain ethnic group. We have prejudiced minds. And Naa Torshie, a lawyer, Somebody who should have known better goes on the campaign trail and she is inflaming some of those ethnocentric passions. It hurts. And these are people who want to run our country. My brother, my sister, that is not the end of the story. If you read the story further, it says that Naa Torshie went ahead to say that the Gen Z, in other words, those born from the 2000s, they would rather vote for Kennedy Agyapong because he has a flat tummy. She just fell short of saying he has 6 packs. He is tall and handsome. What have you reduced our politics into? A beauty contest? What kind of thinking is this? Are we okay as a people? It is so sad, my brother, my sister. The Gen Z, according to her, the Gen Z girls would all go for Kennedy Agyapong because he's handsome and he has a flat stomach. He's not talking about the acumen. He's not talking about the content of the head. He's not talking about his ideas. He's not talking about his smartness. No, they are only talking about the fact that he is tall and handsome and he has a flat stomach. Is this person fit for office? If at this stage, this is how you think, are you fit for office? Dash this away. This is Irene Naa Torshie Ado. Infantile politics. Politics that does not make sense. Just in case the news reporters did not report it well, let us listen to her in this video. What did she exactly say? Watch this.
Many people are politics one. And the man can be yet. Now what? Only man can have access here. Yanni Papa, the man now what? If you are not, one of them, and I won't pay. Women, as a penny is about them. Tall, nice man. They put Blakk on one level of American Indians and that yes in my back. Now we start to do the Italian one is all that part. While we start the biggest time some
Did you see that? Did you hear that? Now, she says that Gen Z girls will be more interested in voting for Kennedy Agyapong as against Asedun Ketia, who wears shoulder pads. You see how these people who are supposed to be ruling us think? Very electrocuted minds. No common sense. They are bigots and at the same time tribalists. Asedun Ketia, the Gen Z girls will not go for him because he wears shoulder pads. He is not handsome. He doesn't have a flat stomach. Is that what is going to bring us policies? Is that what is going to make Ghana move forward? Is that what is going to fight Galamsey? Is that what is going to make Ghana grow? Shoulder pads, flat stomachs, and handsome faces. If these were the things that were required for anybody to win an election, Nana Addo would have never neared the presidency because he doesn't have a flat stomach. He has a pot belly. As for the other accolades, I will not go there. It is sad. I think that if Kennedy Agyapong wants to go far, it is time to start looking at some of these things that his followers and supporters say. Discerning people like us who sit back and watch them go on the campaign trail, some of these things will put us off. If Irene Naa Torshie Ado has nothing to say, It's not by force that you must talk. Me and my people in Greater Accra region have agreed to vote for Kennedy Agyapong. So if you start segregating Ghana like that, oh, Greater Accra region, you are my people. Central region, these are the people. Vote for him because he's from Central region. What are we telling our people? How can we grow? I am so sad to hear this. And I don't think that this woman is fit for office. She's a bigot and she must be sidelined. That is where she belongs. I am so disappointed. Naa Torshie, Ado, shame on you. Come here. Shame on you. You are better than that. It's better to apologize and say that you were short-circuited in the brain at the time that you said this. Many might forgive you. As it stands right now, I am disappointed in you. That shall we. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodemo, and here we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Hey ya, hey yo, wayo,
Blakk Pot, Kukushodemo.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodemo, and here we speak truth to power. Please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, it's time to do that now and hit on the notification button so that anytime we are on, you'll be reminded to watch that, right? Please share the broadcast. Story number 2. Watch this. Agyapong cries over Bryan Acheampong money throwing. Agyapong cries over Bryan Acheampong money throwing. Who is Kennedy Agyapong? Now, 65-year-old Kennedy Agyapong served as an MP for his area in Asin Central for a number of terms, until he told himself that the Ghana Parliament had become so cheap that any Tom, Dick, and Harry could be part of the Ghana Parliament as an MP. He said the MP money or the salary was so low that if anybody thought that was what was feeding him, then they would be lying. Again, he said that all the support he had been giving to people, should he give out his post as an MP, it will help him because many people would not come back to him anymore. By virtue of the fact that I am an MP, many people troop to my house and ask for support. If today I decide to relinquish that position, those people would not come to me anymore and I will save my money. Kennedy Agyapong. He's a vituperative man. He speaks with a lot of power and energy. And many have called him a loose cannon. Many say he is not, in fact, an office material. Many have said that this man here is so easy to get angry. In other words, he's bad-tempered. And he could just press buttons one day and set Ghana aflame should he get angry. But he has teeming fans as well. Many people who think that this is the man they want. The man who is not a regular politician, a man who could speak his mind, a man who could attack his own party and call them corrupt and thieves and foolish. A man who would stand up against the president of the republic with no fear and tell him, hey, I'll give you a showdown. A man who would threaten the vice president of the republic and tell him that you are a cheat, I'm coming for you. Many people think that this is the kind of man they want, the kind of man who would speak his mind no matter what. My brother, my sister, this is Agyapong. If we mean to talk about him, we will need another 30 days before we can complete it. He's been on the campaign trail and he has been campaigning, and recent statistics show that, oh, he is one of the people that might just be picked up for the flag bearer position of the NPP. And when you watch it here, my brother, my sister, this says the 2026 NPP presidential primaries. He is number 1 on the ballot box, followed by Bryan Acheampong. Mahamudu Bawumia comes next. Yao Osei Educhum, former education minister, comes 4. And then Kwabena Agyapong, whose father was a judge, one of the judges that went down in the days of Rawlings in the murder of the High Court judges. These are the people contesting. And it looks like the race has shifted away from Bawumia, and it is now between Agyapong and Bryan Acheampong. Now, Bryan Acheampong boasted the other day that he gave Agyapong $5 million American dollars in order for him to rescind his decision not to support the party and Bawumia in the last elections. From that time, Agyapong has not really come out to deny it, but his followers have said that when Agyapong went on the campaign trail, he spent more than the amount of money that Bryan Acheampong claimed he gave him. In other words, if I took any money from you, it was all spent and even more on the same campaign that I went on. Kennedy himself has never come out to deny that he took some money from Bryan Acheampong. Now, Bryan Acheampong is in a position of riches. Kennedy has always been seen as a rich man. He has said it time and again that he's richer than every single Hollywood star in America. In fact, he boasts every now and then that he has so much money that money doesn't frighten him. He started off by selling PK on the streets, as he told us. Some people said he went into drug peddling, but he has always denied it vehemently. Bryan Acheampong, on the other side, my brother, my sister, was born in 1972, and he was born in Nkwetia, in Kwehu, Nkwetia, the same birthplace as the special prosecutor, right there in the eastern region of Ghana, 1972. My brother, my sister, and he went to school in America and some other such places. It came out recently that he also had a stint with the American Army, which has become so controversial, and investigators are still looking at it. In fact, this man has tabled down his achievements, and some of them are shocking. I'm going to play you a tape. Listen to him blow his own trumpet. What he has done. He has the biggest hotel in the whole of West Africa, sitting on the mountains. He has built a certain long tarmac that's in an airport, and is one of the longest and the biggest in the whole of the South region. When I heard some of the things that he said, I was shocked, and I asked myself, what this man is saying, is it true? Or he's just telling us a cock and bull story in order to get elected. My brother, my sister, let's listen to this guy. He's called Bryan Acheampong. And when we return, we will scrutinize a few things and hit back strongly. Watch this.
And then we talk about ideas. Ideas. The biggest hotel in Africa is my idea. The longest run airport, the airport with the longest runway in the world is my idea. I solved big problems that this country confronted. Ghost names. Removed over 50,000 people from the payroll through my software. That was my idea. All the companies that I run, functioning, employed, over 1,000 people around this environment, in this community, the growth pool that I've established here, those are ideas translated into action. Those who are competing with me, go to their communities and find out how their ideas have translated into action. But it's simple. Or, if you remember, 2 weeks ago, Kudakos Station, Multimedia, they put out that government or Cocoa Board has received $4 billion in deposits. Did you see that? Do you know who caused it? Brian, you are looking at me. When I went to the Ministry of Agriculture, Cocoa Board, I supervised it. They told me that since 1947, we have always gone for syndication. We go for $2 billion and it's a big deal. Cocoa Sikanaba. And I'm ready. Underneath that $2 billion that we have gotten is the 10% interest that we are paying. 5%, 6%, 10% interest. So you get $2 billion and you are paying $200 million in interest. I went in there. I said, we have our cocoa. You want to buy our cocoa, but I have to go and take a loan and pay 10% interest and come and buy the cocoa and supply you. And when I have supplied you, you pay the money to the bank that I went for the loan for. It's a bank for us. I'm going to cancel syndication. It was a big deal. I remember very well in cabinet, everybody thought I was on something very strong. I said it doesn't inure to the benefit of this country. These are the numbers. Everybody was against me. President Akufo-Addo took a chance on my decision and said I will support this. For the first time, 2024, we did not do syndication. Anyway, the strategy was simple. If you want Ghana cocoa, bring your money. You, the buyer, bring your money to us. We will go and buy the cocoa and supply to you. I'm not going to take a loan and go and buy the cocoa, come and supply to you and go and pay interest. Simple common sense, core business calculation. And that is how come I took the bold decision to cancel syndication. And nobody is talking about it. These are ideas translated into bold action that is saving the country a lot of money. And today, the cocoa buyers are bringing their money, depositing. And we are even getting interest on the money. That's the difference. That's the kind of things that I do.
Did you hear him? This is Bryan Acheampong. All the things that he said, are they verifiable? Or is he a crook? Like a lot of these politicians. Let us be honest with ourselves. Can we verify some of these things? What happened to the cocoa syndication loan? Do you know what it means to say cocoa syndication loan? Ghana was going for loans. For instance, $2 billion American dollars. In order to buy our own cocoa from the farmers, which we went ahead to supply to potential buyers. And when they bought it and paid us, we had to go and pay back the loan of 2 billion with about 10% interest. So we paid about 200 million in excess of the interest. Do you understand it? You want my cocoa. Instead of bringing the money to buy the cocoa, no, you sit in your home, cross your legs, and you tell us to supply to you. How do we supply? We can't go to the farmers and say, oh, give us the cocoa. When we sell, we come and pay you. No, the farmer wants his money. Where do we get the money? We go to the same people and borrow 2 billion. And we use this money to buy the cocoa from our farmers, supply to these people, get the money from them, and when we are paying them back their 2 billion, we have to pay interest in excess of 10%, 200 million. Bryan Acheampong said, he sat back and said, no, this does not inure to the benefit of the nation. I will cancel it. So he went back to the buyers and said, hey, we have the best cocoa in Ghana. And at that time, he was the agric minister. We are not going to supply you cocoa like that. You have to pay us first. They will bring the cocoa to you. And that way, they were able to cut away the syndication loans. Today, Cocoa Board is sitting down with that whatever syndication loans. And according to him, Cocoa Board is making like 4 billion American dollars. Is that true? Is that false? My brother, my sister, if this is true, then this is a visionary. If this is true, then this guy has brains. I've never met him, never seen him, never encountered him. In fact, I've never liked him. Because in the run-up to the elections, this was the man who said they would never hand power over to anybody, not the NDC. They will keep power. And for me, I thought that that was a usurpation of the franchise of the people of Ghana. Can I say it again? It was a usurpation. He was usurping, in fact, the franchise of the Ghanaian voter. And that was the time we heard that he had some military background in America and all that. And initially, I had also heard that the software he was talking about that was taking ghost names out, in fact, it was overpriced to the government of Ghana because his party was in power. And he made so much money, millions of American dollars, from that software. Is it true that it was overpriced? I've heard this in several quarters. He says he's built the longest, or the idea came from him, the longest runway into the tarmac of one of the biggest airports. He says, and I close on that, the other people who are competing with me, go to their areas and constituencies and let's see what their ideas have culminated into. I like that. Let's go to Kennedy Agyapong's place. His ideas, have they brought anything meaningful to the people of Asin Central? At least, if you give a man a small piece of land for him to farm on, you don't add more land if he hasn't been able to put this small piece of land into judicious use, maximum use. If you send sheep out to graze and they don't return, you don't send more. I think that I'm beginning to like the way this Bryan Acheampong guy is speaking. He has ideas. His ideas have come out with some facts. But this is where the problem is. Watch this. And it's coming from Ghana Web. What does it say? Kennedy Agyapong cries foul as Bryan Acheampong's financial power shifts NPP race. Kudi, Ega, Kalu, Dodo, money. Run the story, my youth. Come here. Now the new patriotic party's upcoming presidential primaries appear to be taking a dramatic turn as outspoken flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Ohene Agyapong finds himself battling a new wave of financial influence. This time from Bryan Acheampong, who is fast emerging as the party's new money magnet. In what political watchers describe as a passionate but frustrated outburst on VOV radio in the Hohoi constituency of the Volta region, Agyapong urged delegates to reject what he called money politics and instead vote for a leader genuinely concerned about their welfare. When we were begging for 500 Ghana cedis, where were they? When we didn't have cars, as late as May 2016, where were these rich people in the NPP? Those giving you money today would abandon you after the election. Agyapong lamented. The Maverick MP, known for his blunt talk, further appealed to delegates, especially in the Volta region, to look beyond short-term financial temptations and consider their long-term future. He claimed to have acquired over 60,000 hectares of land in the region to create employment opportunities as proof of his genuine commitment to their well-being. Dash it away. Kennedy Agyapong told us that if his brother did not win the elections in Swami, he would be disappointed. But he didn't stop there. He went ahead to say, if his brother won against Asenso Boache and became the MP for Swami, he will create jobs in the area for the people of the area for voting his brother into power. They didn't vote his brother. Therefore, nothing happened for the people. I have a problem with that. Are you helping the people because you believe genuinely they need help? Or is a kind of a contractual agreement? Vote me. When you vote me, then I'll do this for you. Vote my brother. If you vote my brother, I will come and help you. Once your brother was not voted, nothing for the people. They can go as hungry as they want. We have asked Kennedy Agyapong to give us answers to this. Up till now, we haven't heard from him. Now, the 60,000 hectares in the area, tell me, is it conditional to? If you don't win, would you still create the employment? If you win, it's different. But if you don't win, would you create it? Now, Kennedy Agyapong is making a lot of sense in this, and I'm going to close on this. He says, at the time that the party was begging for 500 Ghana cedis, all these rich people, where were they? When we needed cars, as late as May 2016, Kennedy Agyapong was the major financier of the party. He supplied cars in their hundreds for the party, gave money to the party, foot soldiers to the party, and so much money to the party. Bryan Acheampong and the rest were all missing. Today, they've been able to get some money, and that money, my brother, my sister, is what they are using to be able to buy votes. Now, this takes us to something interesting. Vote buying during our elections. My brother, my sister, this is Kennedy Agyapong versus Bryan Acheampong. Bryan Acheampong has come out to say, the man that claims to be so rich, I gave him 5 million American dollars because I knew he was broke after the elections, and he took it. It was a mind game. He claims he's so rich. Many people say he's rich, but I am richer than him. That is how come I am giving so much money to the people. My brother, my sister, when he went all the way to Bantama, I think Swami was the place for, what's the man's name? Napo. Somewhere around there. But Bantama was actually the place where there was that contention. And once he couldn't get the opportunity to be an MP in that area. I'm not too sure. Bantama, Swame, whatever it is, a place in the Ashanti region. Asensu Boache won. No development went to the area because he didn't win. Whatever it is, my brother, my sister, we are still battling with a very terrible demon, and that demon is vote buying. When will the average Ghanaian be respected? You can't go to America and start buying people's votes. You will go to jail. It's so disrespectful for you to walk up to a voter and say, vote for me and take this. We have become so cheap that Adwosafu and the rest can come and give us yogurt and calipo in order for us to vote for them. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukweshonemo, where we speak truth to power. Come here. Kennedy Agyapong. Is he going to win this time? Who has more money? Is this primaries going to be decided by who has the biggest money, the highest bidder, or is going to be a battle of ideas? Where does Kennedy Agyapong stand? Does he have the ideas? Does he have the money? Where does Bryan Acheampong stand? Does he have the ideas? He has demonstrated that he has ideas. Is he corrupt? We have to find out that software. Did he milk the people of Ghana? Does he have the money? He has proven beyond all doubt that he's richer than a lot of the people who claim they are rich in the party. Is that correct? But it is a shame that we are standing here discussing who has the biggest amount of money when an election that is supposed to lead Ghana is lacking behind. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukweshonemo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we'll take your messages and then we close with our final story. Hey! Hey! Woyo!
Skipper George. Black Pot. Kukweshonemo.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kukweshonemo, and here we speak truth to power. I'm most excited to be with you. Okay? Now let's look at your comments. Send your comments via Facebook. Send them also via YouTube. We're going to pick them up and we're going to read them. All right? Okay. Let your comments come in. Remember, our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Ben Azu says it's time. Maunyoke Damlo says it's love. Baron Baggio says salute Blakk. Abubakar J. Osman says hi family. Welcome to the Black Empire Media. Bruno Koku says hi. More comments coming in. Keep them coming in. Yeah. Send them via YouTube. Send them via Facebook. And we are ready to pick them up. Remember to subscribe to this channel and hit on the notification button so that anytime we are on, you'll be reminded to watch. Better still, recommend us to family and friends. and also share the broadcast. Conscious Agbe Menu Ahosu is watching. Bliss Abound says a decorated monkey, still a monkey, Blakk. Bryan Acheampong was one of the biggest thieves in Nana Addo's government. I am interested in this story. Give me a bit of evidence. Yes, so I can follow up on this. Trust me. Amejaku Adam says none of them is qualified to be president. Okay. More comments coming in. All right. Abubakar Rijay Osman says Mustafa Yahya, like minds reason together, so I won't begrudge you. Joshua Kolete Huago says keep the fire burning, my brethren. Joseph Latte says Black Empire, more fire, but please give Naa Torshie Irene. What? You didn't complete your sentence. Feli Brain Wisdy says Black Rasta, missing your show is like missing my breath. Tekute Elizabeth says, good evening, bro. In fact, you are doing a very great job. A salute of patriotism. Love you, my brother. Okay? More comments coming in. Yes, here I see you. Wisdom. Lachu Wisdom says, you are always doing great. Hamid Sule says, Salam alaikum, Black Rasta, watching you live from Afianya, Jerusalem. More fire. Kofi Eric says, this show is on. This is our show. Boy Prophecy says, are we going to eat the hotels and his property and stuff? Don't make that mistake. Boy Prophecy. It was the same thing they told Mahama. Are we going to eat the hospitals and the roads? When COVID came, they repented and went for rebaptismal. Should it always be about our stomachs? No. The average Ghanaian voter is only thinking about his stomach. When he's sick, now he dies cheaply like a fowl. If we had stopped that saying, are we going to eat this? Are we going to eat this? I'm sure that some of these things would have been solved. So let's look at it, my brother. Yeah? Mustafa Yahya. It says, he said, we've been praying and the prayer has not done anything good. Okay? God Day Work says, come here. Ben Azu says, tell me more. More comments coming in. Send them via YouTube. You can also send them via Facebook. Felix Kwabla Fiabu says, well, we all knew very well that neither Kennedy nor Bawumia can win any election in the 2028. I want the NPP to be in opposition for the next 1 million years. Nana Addo has disappointed us. I don't want to hear about the NPP. That's a personal thing. Rosandra says, Black Rasta, I am watching you live from Tamale Kulukuli School. That's the school Haruna Idrisu attended. The same school Mutala attended, I'm sure. Right? We are proud of you. Keep speaking truth to power. The Black Port. Kukushonemo. Okay? More comments coming in. Felix Kwabla Fiabu says, okay, well, we read that message. And then Rosandra, we read your message too. Yes. Tahiru Faisal says, like, comment, and share the broadcast. Black Rasta is the major general in reggae. Boy Prophecy says, today we are on the neck of the NPP. Mary Fiasi says, shame on Naa Torshie, a very disgraceful, I don't know what that means in Ghana, so I don't want to say it, and then it means something that is terrible. So forgive me. Felix Kwamala Fiabu says, we all knew very well, blah, blah, blah. I think we've read that. Comment already. More comments coming in. And this is O2. O2 says, good evening, Black Rasta. Conscious Agbe Menu Ahosu says, my brother James Agbeke, I see you. Keep watching Black Empire Media and remember to share. One love every time. Yusuf Alaska says he's so full of love for the broadcast and Black Empire Media. Conscious Agbe Menu Ahosu says, wow, she actually said that. Some politicians have no shame and brains at all. Fire burn that woman. Total madness. Bubakari Dukruri says, Black Rasta, your program is more than just going to the university. Keep doing what is good. We family people love you. I love you too. And I give you a salute of patriotism. Love you. Okay? More comments coming in. And this is why Prophecy says, please, some of us do not understand the tree. So please, if you can kindly break it down for us. Yes, I forgot to do that. But I said before she said what she said, everything that she said in that video. She was talking about shoulder pads, how somebody's more handsome than the other, and how the young girls in Gen Z are going to be voting for the handsome, and it's disrespectful to the Gen Z. All the Gen Z thinks about is handsomeness and flat stomachs and not common sense of development. That's an insult to the Gen Z. Alaji Kabiru Bandado says, haha. Ebenezer Ando says, good evening, my brother. Thank you for your good job that you're doing for Ghana. Conscious Agbemenu also says, wow, she actually said that. That's total madness. That's a repeat. Okay? We love you. We appreciate you. And then more comments coming in. This is Boy Prophecy, and he says, Blakk Rasta, this is famous prophecy from the Ketu North constituency in the Volta region. I think this woman is not serious. Yes, please keep up your good work in this Black Empire media. Love and respect. Mustafa Yahya says, Epps, Omar Adams. And what has prayers done for this country? Okay? Well, they are arguing about whether prayers are doing anything for the country or not. Okay? Prayer alone can do anything. Fiabu comes back to say, good evening, Blakk Rasta. The ignorant Afenyo Markin and his twin brother, Anodon Pre, were feeling happy that they walked out of the vetting room. Shame on the micro minority. Yes? That micro minority, you can only see it when you use how's it called, a microscope. Ahmed Tijani Suleiman says more fire. Arafat Ramos Imoru says Blakk. Salam alaikum. Muhammad Yahya. Mustafa Yahya said Abubakar J. Osman, just as you are. Okay? Okay? Epps Omar Adam says, does he even pray? I think he's asking about Bawumia. Bruno Koku says Bawumia is a failure. Theophilus Gold says, good evening, Blakk. I am smelling the aroma of the black pot. I can't wait to taste it. I am whetting my appetite. Bruno Koku says, Bawumia disappointed me, pa. And then Abubakar J. Osman says, I doubt. So my brother, it's so obvious that he is not a true Muslim. Well, Franklin Safu says, boss, please choose one day to talk about Mama Africa. Sudan and Tanzania are still bleeding, and it looks like the AU doesn't care. Okay? Okay, so this one here says, the what says Blakk Rasta, always speaking truth to power. Context Mission says King. Abubakar J. Osman says, hi Blakk. Much respect to you. Keep the good works you're doing for Mother Ghana. May Allah bless and protect you for us. We love you to the bone. Okay. More comments coming in. Context Mission says King. And Alajibun Yurubushal Sabulugu says, good evening, Blakk Rasta. Watching you live. Woyo, if we say any even swallow, says Blakk. Where is Gifty Oware? And where is Hanan? Those alleged thieves, are they still locked up at Iyoko? Yes, they are at Iyoko. Nobody is coming out with a bail bond. The Wala people have a certain saying that I love. Please find a Wala person to explain this to you. Dinyong pinyong. If you eat alone, you die alone. Martin Siniaja says more fire. Okay? More comments. All right. We'll read more comments when we come for the second batch, and that's when we will be closing. And we go for the final story. Remember to share the broadcast. Story number 3. Kaya Jeme. Watch this. Deep revelation about how Z9 Ghana military helicopter crashed. Hey, on the 6th of August, the whole nation came to a standstill. This very year, this helicopter flew in the air and it returned with all the human beings in there dead and bent beyond recognition. It broke the heart of the nation. There were 2 Muslims on board. The rest were Christians. So the Muslims had to be buried early. The chief imam came in and prayed. The 2 pilots who were on board, my brother, my sister, died They were members of the Air Force. The whole nation came down. These were the wonderful people, 8 people who went down on the 6th of August. Dr. Edward Kofi Omani-Boama, Minister of Defense, he went down. This was the man who started his romance with his girlfriend who became his wife later by going not to the pizza joint, but to the kenke and fish joint. And the woman read that in her tribute to him. It broke so many hearts. My very good friend, the reggae maestro, the patois speaking Azion man, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad. He was the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology. He went down. Alhaji Muniru Muhammad went down. Dr. Samuel Sapo went down. And he was an NDC vice chairman. Samuel Abuaje, former parliamentary candidate, went down. Peter Bafeme Anala, squadron leader, he was the one flying the plane. He had lost 2 members of his family in succession. And when he went on, boom, plane crashed. Mani Chum Ampedu, he was the flying officer. And Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah, the engineer. So these were the people from the Air Force. My brother, my sister, it broke our hearts. The nation came to a standstill. We all wept and were waiting for authorities to come out and tell us exactly what happened on that fateful day. My brother, my sister, many people became impatient when the results were delaying. But we have been told that they went all the way to America to bring forensic experts and officials to help their Ghanaian counterparts to be able to come up with nothing but the exact reason that saw the demise of all these wonderful people on that fateful day, the 6th of August, 2025. What happened to that plane? Z9 helicopter crash caused by sudden loss of altitude and lift due to downdraft. And this is the investigative committee. Dash it out. To those of us who don't know what the Z9 helicopter is, this is what it looks like. The Z9 helicopter. That's it. It was manufactured in 2012. Ghana got it in 2015. For 10 years, it was with us and flying. After every 10 years, they have to go for serious maintenance. In fact, so when it was 10 years old, they had to go for maintenance. But the authorities maintaining it extended it because it was in good condition. Can I tell you more? This is the helicopter. On this day, it's supposed to go for a certain kind of maintenance. Authorities come around and say, oh, it's all right. We can extend it to this period and then come for the major one. Let's look at the proof. Take me to my Joy Online and we'll come back to this helicopter. My brother, my sister, this was published on the 11th, that's today, November 2025 at 12:39 p.m. just after the results were made public. Run the story. The Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation and Prevention Bureau, AIB Ghana, has determined that a sudden and powerful downdraft was the cause of the catastrophic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 8 people in Ghana. Now, the final finding closes the critical technical chapter on the tragedy, focusing on the volatile environmental forces at play over high terrain. Now, the technical cause was confirmed by Captain Paul Fojo, an investigator and retired pilot with the AAIBG, at a briefing today, Tuesday, November 11, at the Jubilee House. The investigation's conclusion highlights the lethal interaction between rapidly changing weather patterns and the aircraft stability, particularly over elevated geographical areas. Forget about the big English, we shall break it down. Now, the investigation determined that the accident was caused by the sudden loss of altitude and lift due to downdraft. Stated Captain Paul Fojo. Dash it away. But who is Captain Paul Fojo? He's an engineer, as we've been told, a retired pilot. He knows his work. And he is telling us, in collaboration with the Americans, what happened to that helicopter. That helicopter was manufactured in 2012. And we went for it 3 years later in 2015. And it's been with us for 10 solid years. It was due for maintenance, as we were told, but it was extended. In other words, they went in, realized that, oh, it's okay, it can fly, it's good, everything is okay. We'll come for the major maintenance after this period. That's the extension. It's like you take your car to the mechanic. Oh, you said 6 months, I should bring it in 6 months. Mechanic looks at it and says, okay, it's still in good condition. Go and come back next month so that we do a major work on it. It is done. My brother, my sister, that was when this plane crashed. But reports are saying that it's not because of any technical malfunction. It was not due to equipment malfunction. So those who came to look at the plane were not wrong. Everything about the plane was working and in good shape. Now again, what happened on the day? At exactly 9:12, the plane took off. What time was the plane supposed to have taken off? 8 a.m. But when the pilot and everybody gathered and listened to this interesting story, they gathered. They looked at the weather and realized that no, this weather is very bad. This plane cannot fly. We would have problems. Yes, the pilots are very, very experienced, but we must not risk it. In fact, the weather is bad. It's drizzling and the wind speed is so high. This is not a Boeing aeroplane. It is a helicopter. My brother, my sister, they waited, drank hot tea for some time. 9 o'clock. Oh, okay, it's getting better. The weather is cool now. Let's go. That was the time Murtala joined them. If the plane had taken off at 8, Murtala wouldn't have been part of it. When the plane was about to take off was when Murtala came around. And Mutaka had to be pulled off because he had to go for a certain meeting. And Murtala said, all right, I will join. Minister of the Environment, Minister of Technology, and so on and so forth. Is all in the interest of God and country. Little did he know that that was the last flight he was going to have. And we have shown you pictures of him in the aeroplane before. We had to pull down that narration because of family sentiments and all that. When Murtala was on the plane, we saw photographs of him that he shared. My brother, my sister, his last ever photograph. We showed you that on this platform. We pulled it down because we didn't want to inflame family passions. Now this plane flew at 9:12 and went straight into the atmosphere. But this plane is an old plane, manufactured in 2012. In fact, how old is the plane? The plane, my brother, my sister, is about 13 years old. It doesn't have some of the modern functions. Equipment that can detect environmental changes, weather conditions. It doesn't have it. It doesn't have the modern, and it's one of the recommendations. It flew. Buff, it went into the air. But the pilot decided to fly it low. Low. So that he would not depend solely on navigational equipment. What do we mean by navigational equipment? When you sit in a plane, the pilot can put it on autoplane. Those of you who have flown before. Normally when the plane is flying, they tell you, fasten your seat belts, because there could be turbulences and some other such things. Right? Now when the plane flies into the air and takes the right altitude, altitude simply means height. Now they will switch off the seat belt signs and tell you that, oh, you may take off your seat belts. But they recommend that whilst you are seated, still wear that. They have the ultimate in the altitude. So now they can put it on autopilot. The pilot can just press a few things and let the plane fly itself whilst he's busily drinking tea. And in modern aeroplanes, they can see where the turbulences are, whether they should take left or right or even fly low or higher. They see all that in modern aircrafts. But our plane is 13 years old from manufacture. We are not a rich country. It is safe, very safe, but it lacks some of these equipment. So the pilot had to fly low so he could use his own eyes to look at where he was flying and also depend on the navigational equipment. So two things, the eyes of the pilot and the equipment. The plane took off, it went, then weather became bad again. Over the hills and high mountains, more rain started to pour. There was so much wind and it started to rock the plane up there. In fact, visibility, according to what we heard from the press conference, became 200 meters. You know what 200 meters is? You know the 100-meter race? Twice that. That means you can't see beyond that. And this is a plane that flies fast. If it can only see 200 meters, it means it's danger. You should be able to see far and know where you are going. But if it's only 200 meters, oh, single thrust, you are in 200. It moves fast. So the pilot was virtually flying blind. He decided to fly a little low because he wanted to see. Now that the weather was becoming bad, he tried to fly a little high above the clouds to avoid thick clouds. Because when you fly into thick clouds, the plane can rock. And if it's a small plane, it could just crash. It's rare, but it does happen. When he tried to rise, the wind was so much and there was a downcast which forced the plane to lose altitude. Hallelujah. When the plane loses altitude, it means it can't fly higher. It is rather coming down. So it came down and crashed. According to what we heard. That's what happened to this ill-fated plane. So when it was coming down, everybody in the plane who was awake, and I wonder if any one of them was sleeping, in just a period of how many minutes? And the way the plane was rocking, and the way it was coming down, they knew that there was danger. Maybe they started shouting. They started reciting Quranic verses, Bible verses, because it was descending. And the way the plane shredded, broke into pieces, you could tell that it landed with so much force. If the plane lost altitude and it was coming down slowly, it wouldn't have broken into pieces like what we saw, and it caught fire right in the rain. That's how the plane crashed. According to the press conference, there was no foul play. There was a downcast which caused the plane to lose altitude. Now they have recommended some things that Ghana planes should have right now. One of them is don't go for old planes. Number 2, get modern weather equipment. 3, get modern simulators for your training. You know what a simulator is? It's like a video game. You sit in it and it's like you are flying. And then when you encounter problems, how you deal with it, a lot of our pilots go to Ethiopia where they have some of the most modern simulators. And they probably have the highest number of aeroplanes in the whole of Africa, Ethiopian Airlines, for training. So our pilots, at the time of flying this, it's obvious they were not abreast with the most modern flying techniques. Now they are recommending that they should have that training. 2, the plane was not equipped with the most modern equipment. All in the service of God and country. The plane went down. 8 people lost their lives. And the nation went all dark from the soot of the plane crash. I hope that the recommendations will be adhered to, and everything would make flying safe the next time we fly. To those who lost their lives, may their bodies, minds, and souls rest in perfect peace. They died while serving the nation. It is time we went straight into the most modern of whatever we use here. Yes, we're a poor nation, but our safety must be given the most priority. This is the Blackport, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. I'm most excited to be with you. And this is why we bring it all to an end. Okay? Let's see your final comments. And then we are out of this place. It looks like we've taken so much time today. So I'm going to spare you. But the comments are still online. Pick up comments, read them. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Do business with us. You can also send us, messages. Give us information that you want us to follow up on. And we are happy to do that. My name is Blakk RASTA. I love you and I appreciate you. It's been yet another beautiful day. Tomorrow we'll be here again in the service of God and country. Please subscribe to the channel. Grow the family. Hey-ya! Hey-yo! Wayo!